Hi, I'm Andrew Armstrong and welcome to the back office. If you own an inkjet printer, you know that printer ink is very expensive. So you might have heard of remanufactured carts. They've been going on for years, decades in fact, and they come in a huge bag like this. If you are lucky enough to have a printer that has a very cheap remanufactured cartridge system, then you can print almost indefinitely for a fraction of the cost that your original cartridges cost. So I'm going to turn the camera around and show you these remanufactured carts and actually show you how I change them in this particular printer, because it's easy peasy. This is my Canon Pixma printer. It's a pretty standard affair. It's actually more or less a salvage printer because it wasn't being used in an office. So what I've done is I have now opened the lid on it, and you can see the printer here is telling me which cartridges to replace. And unfortunately it had a lot of cartridges, and this would have been a very expensive printer to re-ink normally. So I'm going to push the little button on these and pop them out. And I'll just show you what they look like. So you can see there's actually a lump of sponge in there, which takes the ink essentially, and it would feed the ink to the bottom, and that's the printer head actually has a piezo unit that sprays little bubbles of ink onto your paper. So these are actually very simple. So this is a simple technology, but what you can see here, this is an aftermarket cartridge, but the standard cartridge has them as well. There's actually an ident chip here, which the manufacturers put in to stop actually stop aftermarket parts, really, because the printer will see how old the cartridge is, and after a while it'll just say this cartridge is too old, or this isn't a legit cartridge, I'm not going to use it. So they really try to lock you in. That's why the printers themselves are often really cheap. You can get a printer for 20–30 pounds, but then the ink cartridges, you're hooked for life onto those. So when you buy your aftermarket cartridges, they'll come in just a simple package like this. You can get a whole big bag of them. And this is another magenta cartridge, just like the standard one. And all I really have to do is just open the bag and then fit it in exactly the same way as a standard cartridge. There's no real difference. I mean, some of these are actually made from recycling standard cartridges. So all you have to do is pull this little tab here, and what this does, it removes a sticker from the top, and that allows air into the cartridge, because of course you need air to flow. Here's the ink reservoir. You can see that's nice and full, and there's a massive sponge. So basically the ink sort of feeds into this sponge through capillary, and then the printer draws its spray ink from this sponge. So you just twist the bottom here and be a little bit careful, because there could be a drop of ink in there. So you can see sometimes there's a little drop of ink. You don't want to get that on your table. Bit of a mess to clean up. So that's the magenta one. So we've just got left the cyan and the yellow. So we have a cyan right here. I might have to go hunting for a yellow. While I do that, I'll just show you as well, just sort of describe to you. We've got, this printer uses a number of black cartridges. It's got 2 black cartridges, believe it or not, and a grey cartridge. One's a fat black cartridge and one's a very thin black cartridge. And I have no idea why it needs so many. I do know that if you run out of ink, fortunately if you run out of ink on this printer, it does continue to print, which is nice, because some printers have this sort of mode where they run out of ink, they just continue, they stop allowing you to continue and just complain, which is really annoying. So if you've just run out of one colour and you're really desperate to print your EasyJet boarding pass, it just forbids you. So the final yellow one, the yellow is interesting. Look, it almost looks orange. It's a not particularly yellow looking ink there. It's almost translucent clear. So as you know, inkjet printers use a combination of these colours. I just noticed something here. There's a little button here that says push. It's not a real button. I think that's just when you're putting it into the printer, it's telling you just to push down on that area to lock it into place. So there's the last cartridge. In it goes. And I'll just show you this black cartridge while I've got one. So this particular printer uses this big fat C520 black cartridge and also has this C521 small black cartridge. So I don't know if you can use one or the other. I tend to use both because black is always used quite a lot. And there's even a grey cartridge. So that's probably because it's a photo printer, it gets a good fidelity by doing that. So I'll just shut that now and the printer will whir away and tell me it's happy with those new inks. Just to give you an idea of the cost, so this printer you could see uses a bunch of ink. I think it was at least 6 cartridges we saw there, 6 cartridge set. And this is the receipt I've got for it. And this is showing you that there's a 24 ink cartridges for this printer has come out at £11.16. So 24 ink cartridge, its 6 set is actually 4 complete sets for £11.16. Now if you look on the internet at the original ink cartridge price for these, you might find that one ink cartridge might be quite nearer that. So it's an amazing bargain. Just tell you, just who we got this from. This is from goinks.co.uk. I'm not affiliated with them anyway, we just bought it on eBay. Go Inks. I'm very pleased with what they've sent us, and they've worked really well. Just to show you, we'll zoom right in here on the printer itself. It's pretty happy with the inks here. You've got your magenta, your small black, your grey, which looks like it could need the top up soon, the big black, the cyan, and the yellow. Ready to go. Hope that's been of some use to you. Please look out on eBay, see if you can find those cartridges. Don't buy brand new ones. Frankly, printers are so cheap, there's no even need to try to maintain your warranty on them. If they break, what you bother, just throw it away, pay 30 quid, get another one. Get one which has cheap ink cartridges. Look on eBay first or Amazon to make sure you can get the cheap remanufactured cartridges and then find the printer to match that. So hopefully there's some use to you. Please click subscribe down below if you'd like to be emailed when I make new videos, and I'd love you to make some comments and ask me any questions on this. As ever, thank you for watching.